strategies to conserve water in Chennai city. Because I'm Dr. G.Sekaran. I was Pharmacy Chief Scientist and Cluster Chairman in Environment Technology Division, CSIR Central Research Institute. I worked up to 2016. Afterwards, I have been Research Professor in SRMICT, Chennai. And as I told you earlier that not only this municipal wastewater, I did a lot of work for other industries also, all workable in the field level. And of course, having about 42 years of research experience in waste management. So that water conservation through one, because we also did a lot of there is case studies or discussion on this. One, you avoid contamination of drinking water sources by municipal wastewater and industrial discharges. This is what I want to say that. And of course, is known also. Treatment of municipal wastewater to reusable level and made reuse by industries. Because in Chennai, when Dr. Jayalalitha was the CM, she already said that initiated taking the water from Coimbatore CSTP to Sri Perumbudur Industrial Estate. She already initiated the work. So naturally, it is on this government level, that is treated sewage can be used in industries. That platform is available to us. And also it should be made useful in commercial outlets, commercial complexes available in Chennai city. And educational institutes already they have got this sewage, and probably that water can be reused within the education institutes. And of course, hospitals and majority, many hospitals, corporate hospitals are there in industry, Chennai city, and they have to be properly treated, and the treated wastewater should be made reuse within the industry. So make it as zero discharge. And of course, temple tanks or temple discharges are also available. Many of these temples, they do not treat the water, and the untreated water comes from the temples just joining the kuvam. That's what I say, that many of these rivers already made redundant because of this unplanned discharge of wastewater coming from. So now we have to have some focus on this. Avoid contamination of water storage tanks by municipal wastewater and industrial discharges. Many storage tanks are available, and these municipal storage tanks, that is what storage tank, water storage tanks must be made useful and not to allow this discharge from municipal wastewater and industrial discharges. Now, present CM of Tamil Nadu also given that about 12 storage tanks would be created in Chennai city in order to store the water during the rainy season or otherwise during otherwise also. So that water table, in order to increase the water table in the nearby area. And augmentation and increase in wetlands and parks, that bioparks are going to be made more in Chennai city. And those parks would require this water. There are also chances of utilizing the water, the treated wastewater into that. And also a lot of motivation to increase greenery. Already it's been initiated. And if you still further motivate on this, probably we'll have a scope for utilizing the treated wastewater in Chennai city. Scope for utilization of treated sewage in Chennai city. I got some 4 slides on this. Okay, please next. Raw sewage treatment. Actually, one we can look at this STPs in the residential colonies or the townships, and another one this STPs in the industrial or in the factories. What are the STPs available? And also, what are the common sewage treatment plants? So this is are the 3 are available to us. One, we can say that raw sewage treatment in STPs, and you treat it to the maximum extent. You treat it to the discharging level and to the utility level when it comes. Then we have to refine the water. Already in the Kodungayur, the wastewater treated sewage comes out, goes to this Manali industrial area. And majority of the industries takes up this wastewater coming out from the Kodungayur. And it is being utilized in the industries for even cooling tower makeups. And when the cooling tower makeup comes out, the blow down, and the blow down, it should go for this flush out. So this can be used in the case of big, the townships in the nearby Chennai cities. They have to treat the wastewater and treat it refined to the cooling tower makeup, because the cooling tower makeup's characteristics are said to be different from what the discharge is coming out. So that refinement to go for the cooling tower. After it's served in the cooling tower makeup, the blow down comes out. Naturally, it can be used for the toilet flush outs, and nearly about 40% of the water goes for the only toilet flush out. The toilet flush also can be joined with this raw sewage and go for the next treatment. Next, this is another one, raw water treatment STPs. You treat this wastewater, and before you go for this, just that is used for the gardening and modify the soil structure. Geological work has to be done on this wherever they are discharging water on the gardening side, and so that it can able to detoxify the chemicals, residual chemicals present in the treated sewage. Because the conventional sewage treatment plant is not able to justify the residual chemicals present in the wastewater, and also they are not able to make up on this pathogen, so that we can do certain work on this the soil where they are discharging the wastewater and modify the soil structure that itself is made to detoxify the chemical. I don't say that it should absorb this chemical, it should be able to detoxify, made it oxidized into the this a usable level. And similarly, the pathogen should be detoxified. Then, of course, it can go for the increase the groundwater table. Once you increase the groundwater table, indirectly people can be motivated to use the water except for cooking and drinking. So cooking and drinking, except to that, this water can be used for other purposes, so that lot of saving can be happen on this wastewater. This also again, so raw water treatment in STPs in again townships, or you can say that big shop malls. In this one, the STPs in industries, raw water treatment in STP, already it's been given that zero discharge disposal is given to the industry. And what I try to say that to try treated sewage water, and the treated sewage water should be refined to the level of processing in certain areas. So that is, industries cannot, manufacturing industry cannot completely augment the water, but it can be made useful in processing certain parts of it. And after doing it in the process side, the water can be made useful in cooling tower makeups. And these two are over, then the water, blow down water, can be given to the domestic side for flush outs. So even in the industries, we have got a lot of that is the sewage is being developed, and for the toilet flush outs within the industries, the water can be given, because many of this the labor intensive industries are there, as you said, the leather industry, textile industries, and pharmaceutical industries, where this labor force is said to be more, where this toilet flush outs are said to be exhaustly, that is consuming more water. So where this, after taking the water, treated water, just to flush out alone, one cycle we can give that, go to the process side and go to the cooling tower makeups, and then finally we can come to this toilet flush outs. So this is CSTP, raw wastewater treatment in common sewage treatment plant. You treat the sewage water in the CSTP and refine to the level wherever you are. So refine the treated water to river standard or lake standard, and then discharge into nearby, there is rivers, either Adayar, Kuvam, or Buckingham Canal, or Kosasalayar. And so that after this, the water can be given to the cooling tower makeups, and the flow down of the water from this can go for the toilet flush, so that we can make use of this Adayar river and then the major rivers of this, and from that the branches can be taken, and coming to this the the lakes available in the different areas where you can fill it that water, and then this water can be used for cooling tower makeups or otherwise toilet flush outs, and nearby areas it can be given, so that thereby the water augmentation can be made possible. And then this is another one possibility, raw water treatment in CSTP, treated sewage in the CSTP. After taking to this refined water to river or lake standard, discharge into Kuam, Buckingham Canal, etc. There you can distribute the water to developing greeneries on the roadside, because this particular scope was developed by mayor, that is then Mayor Tyagarajan was the mayor of Chennai city. He tried to augment the water from this, so that we are asked to give some technologies. I also participated in that. So we can say that the water can be given for raising this, the greeneries on the roadside. That's one possibility we can see that. Another one, construction industries. Construction industries require more of water. So this water can also be taken from the refined treated water. And public toilet flush outs. So that a lot of public toilet flush outs are there available in Chennai, or more to be made. And for them also this water can be made available. So this water again join together and go to the CSTP, so that water storage or others water augmentations, the groundwater can be avoided. So these are the three important areas. They collect the water, I take the water from the groundwater. So depleting the groundwater sources. So instead of that, this water can be made useful. And this is raw water treatment in CSTP, treated sewage water to the level within the CSTP, refine the treated water to lake standards, and discharge, as I said, that Kuvam, Kosastalai or Buckingham Canal, and fill up this, as I said, lakes or temple tanks, and increase the groundwater table. So this is more important, because now for past 3 years, of course, we have got a very good rain in Chennai city, and so that our groundwater table is sufficiently good. And probably this year or next year, probably we catch up on this drought area. In that case, we need to have the good amount of groundwater table. So when we say that the water is filled always in the lakes or otherwise temple tanks. Temple tanks is a resource to us. So we can that is use that temple tanks for storing this, the standard water into that, and probably people may not object that. And that water can be used for raising the bioparks, so that more of bioparks to be produced in the zone wise. So as the bioparks are created, that's created more, it can help us goes for getting the sequestering carbon dioxide. So that's also one we can have. Another one more thing, more and more this water is being filled up in the lakes and temple tanks. The sea intrusion can be avoided. So that sea salinity can be avoided in many, because in Chennai city, many parts of the that is zones have got this increase in salinity of it. So once you keep flooding this water from this treated sewage, and probably we can able to control this sea intrusion also. These are the things I want to share.